there's one thing that matters here, one thing only, and he just figured it out first, you know, and the rest of the group, they weren't there then, they weren't ready for it, you know what I mean? And I think he had to go, he had to teach them that, he had, you know, and I think that was one of the lessons in him dying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was human, and I think that's the biggest thing about The Walking Dead. The show is about human beings, and Shane absolutely was that 100%. So let's keep going with questions. Wherever the mics are.
Love your shirt.
So what?
Green Corps shirt.
Oh, it's my buddy gave me the shirt. It's for Frank Cassidy.
Love it.
Awesome. Let's see. Do we have one over here? Or let's do right side. Do we have one on the right side too? Oh, here we go. Cool. Right here.
Hi.
On the stairs.
Loud, sorry. Hi, my name is Lisa. I have a question. When Rick, I just was wondering, did you ever kind of talk with Andy about when Rick finally admitted to Michelle that the kid's yours? Well, Shane's.
I already knew that.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody already knew it. Everybody already knew it, but I was just kind of like, did you guys kind of talk about it as, you know, amongst yourselves?
I think Andy may have called me, and I think that was the conversation.
Yeah.
And just so you know, and I said,
You
I already
know.
knew, man. I already knew.
Yeah. That's awesome. Like, oh, and by the way, you're freaking amazing in The Punisher.
Speaking of talking about your shirt as well, are those the boots? Are those the boots from The Punisher?
From The Walking Dead.
From Walking Dead, right?
My base boots, I got them, Shane Walsh, he started them, and I carry them through to everything I do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you can,
so that's how they started, and then you've worn them.
I might have to find out if you can swim in them. You can run in them, they can get you in and out of any situation. You can fight, you can run, you can do it, you know what I mean? They're the best boots. It's incredible. Super easy, zip on, zip off, don't have to tie nothing, just go. But I have never swum in them before.
Tomorrow, that's about.
Just as long as it's tomorrow, not tonight.
Alright, let's do another one over here. Let's see. Okay, yep.
Hello. My name is Kelly. You're actually quite funny, by the way.
Oh boy. Funny looking.
Being on the Titanic and all. What do you think about moving to a comedic role? I mean, you played a lot of hard-ass guys. Can you do something like that?
Yeah. I can. I mean, look, I started off, you know, like I started off on a sitcom, and I did comedies. You know, that was kind of how I broke in. I prefer. I mean, look, I'm not a genre kind of person. I'm not like, oh, I can only, you know, Hollywood for being full of some of the most creative people in the world. It's an unbelievably uncreative place sometimes, and the problem is that once you show that you can do something, they just want to sort of see you do the same thing over and over again. And I try as hard as I can to try to keep pumping work out there that's different. Not just because I'm worried about the longevity of my career, but just because I want to be inspired. I want to show a different color. I want to show a different side. And some of the stuff that y'all probably don't know about probably are you're like, damn, that's him? Yeah, and I hope so, at least. I hope you think that. And I'm like, man, look at dumbass Shane trying to be, you know. But you know, for me, it's really just about working with the best people possible and the best possible material that's available to you at the time. You know, the stuff that really inspires you. And if that's I mean, look, when I was starting off, it was all about me trying to be on soap operas and CW romantic comedies, and they just looked at my big ass nose, my giant ass flabby ears, and they were like, that shit is not gonna happen. And that's why, like, you know, I had no money at the beginning. You know, I couldn't work. Good gracious.
Cool. All right, let's go to, we'll bounce over here. Where's the mic? Oh, there we go. Okay. Is there someone right next to you? Cool.
Hi, I'm Tori. My question is, like, out of every scene you've done with The Punisher, like, which one is your absolute favorite?
Sorry, what'd you say? I was trying to find you.
Alright, out of every scene, like, you've done in The Punisher, like, obviously everything, what's your favorite, like, all time?
Thanks. Yeah, no, it's two of them. I know it was the prison scene from Daredevil season 2. As far as action, just you know, I like to do the fights myself. I really that's you know how a man fights and all that stuff. You know, I have an unbelievable respect for Phil Silvera, Tom Williams, Eric Linden, the guys that that do the fights, and stuntmen are the unsung heroes of the industry. You know, they you know, as these fights become more and more complicated and creative and chilling, you know, it's like these guys that deserve, you know, they come up with that stuff, and we just have a little bit of time to learn it, and it's awesome. I love it, and I love that fight because I thought it was just Frank freaking Castle, you know what I mean? And but then for me, the two things were that, and then the speech by the graveyard in Daredevil season 2 as well, when he talks about coming home and his daughter and being too tired to read to her, and then she dies the next day. You know, for me, I really thought that with that speech, it was written by a real Marine, which meant the world to me. This guy John Kelly, and you know, I just felt like that is the guy. He got it better than any of the other people that I've gotten to work with. You know, and I thought that speech, once we got to sort of say that and like have that out there, I felt, okay, now we can be bold enough to turn our back on the audience and be as brutal and as sick and to crave that death and to crave looking at somebody while they take that last breath. Like, you can get as dark as you want because you have that, you know where it's all coming from. It was just such a gift. It was such a beautiful speech that he wrote, and it came from a man who really knew what was up. So so those are the two. It's easy. Those will always be my favorite too. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so we'll go to the left.
I don't know if he does something.
I have two questions, one really short one. If this boat does turn over, are you going to Otis somebody to...
Me and Bill are on our way out of here, dude. He's on my back and we're swimming.
I figured you had practice at that, so... My other question...
Need be.
My other question is, out of all the roles that you've played, do you have a favorite scene?
No, I mean, there's ones that stick out that I love. You know what I mean? That were just a lot of fun. You know, let's see, Walking Dead, like the barn scene, Walking Dead. You know, like I love that. Telling them all what was. You know, that was coming at a time where I was kind of like pissed at everybody. You know what I mean? On like the higher ups, you know, I felt like they were, you know, like a lot of crap was going down, and gave me a chance to be like, you know, why don't y'all see it? You know, like, and that's always good. You know, Sophia coming out and Melissa McBride, and wish you played that, sweet Melissa, man. And yeah, I don't know, and then, you know, but in all these things, you know, there's definitely I got lots of favorites from different things and for completely different reasons, but yeah, it would be, you know, yeah, you would have to probably ask me project for project. You know, I'll bore you real quick. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. All right, so we'll jump over to the right side. Anybody over here? Oh, right there. Awesome.
Hi, John. Do you think if Shane was still alive, he would have had Negan out by now?
People see me say I really honestly don't, you know, don't kill me, don't throw me overboard, but I haven't been able to keep up with the show the last bit. I know it's so bad, but I'm working like crazy. I got 3 little kids, you know what I mean? So I gotta catch up, but I mean, I know he's the man. I love Jeff, you know, but a lot of people do say that, you know, like, you know, Shane wouldn't have stood for that, and, you know, I tend to trust the people, you know.
All right, back over to the left here.
Hi, my name is Yazi, and my biggest question is I wanted to know, like, your biggest character in Wind River.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, what inspired you to do that role?
Oh, wow, yeah, thanks. I love being in that movie. You know, my favorite thing to do, crazy enough, is I love doing, my buddy named James Batchdale. He's a great actor, and he does it all the time too. We're just this kind of group of actors that, however big or small the part is, does not matter. And sometimes, you know, some people send us a script, agents send us a script to look at like a lead role, but there'll be like a part that's just in one scene, and we're like, we want to do that. And our agents and everybody are like, are you out of your mind? Why? And I think what people don't get is that to be able to come into a movie and just do like 2 or 3 days and play this character, but show a sense that leave the audience with, damn, I want to know more about what happens to that person. There could be their own movie about that person. What it does is it adds authenticity and grit and reality to the rest of the film, because it helps creating the backstory of the film. And it's my favorite thing. My buddy Baz calls it being a hired assassin. You just go in, they're doing their movie, you just come in, wham, just throw down and just get the fuck out, you know? And I love it. And so for that film in particular, you know, Taylor Sheridan is, you know, I think one of the premier writers in Hollywood. You know, he was an actor on Sons of Anarchy, quit to be a writer. He wrote Sicario, Hell or High Water, and then Wind River. And beautiful writer, beautiful man, a real man, you know what I mean? He's a rancher, he's a real dude, and I love him. And after Sicario, you know, he reached out, he dug what I did, and he said, hey man, I just want you to come on this thing. It's gonna be one scene, but it's gonna be an acting exercise for you, because you're gonna open this door and every single person is gonna think you're the bad guy. Like the whole thing, everyone's gonna think that you are the piece of shit that did this, and you're gonna have 2 minutes to make sure there's not a doubt in everyone's mind that you are not the bad guy, that you are full of love, and that you love this woman, good, gracious, that you protect her. And he let me, yeah, sorry.
I to tell you that I literally did not think anything of your character in any other movie until I literally saw that movie, and I saw everything from you coming to a point where, wow, this is a totally different part of you that I saw.
Oh, cool.
And it
cool.
was like, it meant home to me. It was like,
Thanks, sweetheart. Thank you. I'm glad it meant something to you. It really meant something to me too, and it was, you know, it was a brutal little scene there.
just for 2 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Literally, it came out, you definitely betrayed yourself, and
And they got the fuck out. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and if when you're not on the boat, when you guys have Wi-Fi and stuff, just go through and watch Wind River, watch Shot Caller, watch Pilgrimage. Just go through and watch what John's done in the last year and a half, and it's just, I mean, it's unbelievable. So we'll go right over to the right as well.
I'll stand. I think the key to this is power stance.
Plant the feet.
Yeah, exactly. So when I heard you first coming out as a Punisher, I was a little concerned that, man, I'm going to look at this and think Shane, but I think I can speak for everyone when I say, when the first episode was over, you absolutely crushed.
Thanks,
the
man.
notion. So piggybacking off of the hard work, the Punisher is a really physical role. You've got to look the part. You really got to train and do the things that you need to do. Can you maybe describe what your workout and what your eating process is?
Eating? Did you say eating?
Oh, I'm sorry. The stop it eating diet.
No, I mean that. Look, man. It's a tough. I appreciate what you said. I care. You know, I'm enormously grateful to play Frank Castle. You know, like that's something. And you know, to me, I got a good dose of it. I got a good. I was taught well about what the comic book audience is through The Walking Dead, and I learned a healthy dose of respect for what it is. And you know, to me, you know, you read a comic book, and you know, all you're doing is you're looking at a picture and you're reading some words, and it requires the audience to put so much of their own imagination in there. And what that means is that these characters that have been around for so long, they belong to the audience. They don't belong to some asshole actor. They belong to the audience. They exist in your minds and your hearts, and you have to be faithful to it. Like, you have to be faithful to it. But then what you got to do is you got to make it yours, because the only way, holy moly, the only way. I mean, there are no icebergs, right? All right. Anyway, so you know, you got to make it yours, right? So you know, for me. You know, to play a part like that, that resonates the way it does with members of law enforcement and the military. And I've said it before, the fact that people you know, fought and died for our country and put that Punisher skull in their body armor and they've gone out there, that means everything to me. You can't fuck around with that. And for me, you know, if that means, you know, I've got to train harder with the guns, or I've got to train harder to get my body in a certain way, you know, that's nothing. You know, like, that's nothing. That's like, you know, that's the easy stuff, you know. You know, yeah, so I mean, look, there's been, you know, as far as like your actual question about my you know, that kind of thing, you know, for me, I just wanted to get really big and strong, and at first I really wanted it to be sort of like a vanity thing, but the thing that these guys really wanted, and a lot of the guys that I train with, Navy SEALs, Delta Force, you know, the thing that I'm finding is to be able to move, you know, to be like unbelievably strong, To be unbelievably strong. But to be strong, yes, but to be physical and adaptable and to be able to use your body in a number of different ways and understand a lot of different kind of martial arts and many different weapon systems. And to me, the absolute thrill of my job is I've gotten to become so close with real vets, tip of the spear guys who have opened up to me, and not only opened up to me in terms of taking me in and training me and shared their secrets, but have also told me their stories and really taken me through and introduced me to families and friends and really opened up about what it's actually like to be over there. And anytime a vet opens up to you like that, that's something to be treasured, to be cherished, it's, they're with me every second that I'm playing that part. So if it's like, hey, there's a guy fucking around, or hey, well, a bunch of us are gonna go out for a beer after work, it's like, nope, none of it. So like, not eating a pizza is the easiest thing in the world. I don't even want to smile when I'm playing that part. Like, I do not want to smile. I don't want anybody joking. I don't, and it's, because I think about them. I think about what they share with me, and I take it seriously. I don't even know if that answers the question. But basically, yeah, man, just don't eat.
All right, right over here on the left.
Hi, John.
You gotta call me Shane.
Firstly, I just want to say I was never a fan of Shane.
Fair enough.
But once I saw you in another movie, I forget what it was called. It was you were played, I think, the long lost brother of someone. But I do like your other roles. Also, I wanted to say that I love that you're an advocate of pit bulls.
Yeah.
Because I very misunderstood. And also, since you said you didn't catch up on Walking Dead, I just want to ask, theoretically, what would Shane's reaction be to the fact that, or the so-called fact that Carl is dying or dead? What do you think he would do? Like, would he blame anyone? Or would he just be like, oh, it just happened?
I mean, he would, he'd do whatever possibly to not let him die. I think that's who Shane.
Do you think he'd be even more mad at Negan?
Yeah, I think if, look, I don't know, I'm speaking out of my ass, but I think that if anybody, if anybody came, I think if
Shane best.
I think that once Judith came into the world, all bets are off. And I just know that from being a dad, you know what I mean? It's just like, you're just not gonna, you're not gonna mess with his family, that's it, I just think he's that kind of guy, and he wouldn't, he wouldn't be asking questions.
Thank you.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm trying not to look at the curtains, but when I look at you, my peripheral.
Oh, really?
Right side over here. Let's see. Where's the mic?
Yeah, we all right. Scared.